What do most people not realize is a huge waste of money. Realizing this now when I'm having a kid. All of the baby stuff that will at most get used once. Find a good used clothing, toy store for kids. You'll save an enormous amount of money. Document fees at car dealerships. It's a fee for them to print and file paperwork. They'll present it as if it's a state law that is non-negotiable, but that's total bullshit. Refuse to pay it. If they won't lower the document fee, just fucking leave and go to some other dealership. And if they quickly agree to lower or drop the fee, it might be a sign you're getting fleeced on the rest of the deal. I currently work at a dealership. Luckily I am no longer in sales, but can confirm doc fees are bullshit. Ours is $799, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Unfortunately they get away with it being that high because so few people read through the paperwork they have to sign and don't truly understand what they're getting into. I would say a lot of baby toys. You spend hundreds on certain flashy, expensive gifts that just sit unused in the corner, and then they play with that trinket you picked up from the pound shop all the time. I know it's a bit cliche, but my experience so far is that kids often just want to play with the cardboard box, so to speak. You don't need to spend hundreds on a 1-3-year-old in terms of toys and games. I used to work at IKEA, and the one item that kids would have tantrums over are the dish brushes that have the suction part at the end. Kids have such a wild imagination, so there really is no point in buying them expensive toys. They will play with what they find. Food delivery services like DoorDash. Amazing way to turn a $7 burrito into a $17 burrito. Confession, I still do it about 4 times a week. DoorDash was a saint when I had surgery though. I couldn't cook, couldn't stand that long, and there were very few things I could eat. My husband doesn't drive, and he's not a good cook, so I used them every day for about a week to order eggs, toast, and fresh fruit. I rarely use them anymore though. Giving Reddit gold to Bill Gates. Giving Reddit gold to EA. I'm pretty sure that's done just so that the comment wouldn't disappear due to having so many downvotes. Timeshares. Almost never worth it, and the maintenance fees alone for the privilege of owning 1 or 2 weeks a year, shared with dozens of others, is simply throwing money away. My brother and I have one that we actually make money on, usually $1,000 to $1,500 per person per year, and it's still almost not worth it for the sheer frustration of getting it rented. We didn't buy it either, it was our parents'. I'm in a similar situation. My partner's grandmother gifted her timeshare to us. We just have to pay the yearly maintenance fee of about $700. But we can exchange it all over the world and we get 5 weeks per year. We just used a week in Greece and it was great. I'm wondering if it will be worth the trouble of trying to rent out the weeks we don't use. It sounds like a pain. Pyramid schemes such as it works etc. Painfully exaggerated eye roll. I seriously hate it works. The thing that's the most infuriating to me are the people who brag about what a blessing it's been for them financially and how they're almost out of debt just doing it on the side. Then they post pictures of the checks they get but blur out how much the check was for. I'm like, bitch, that check could be for $5 stinking bucks. If you want to convince me it's profitable to join up, show me some actual numbers. The worst is when they show themselves buying groceries or something like a Starbucks drink while flashing their MLM debit card. I'm willing to bet most people working 40 hours a week can buy those things, but none of us are posting on Facebook every time we slide our bank cards. But that's the whole marketing scheme. Since they make money from the people they sign up, they are hardly selling the product at all. They sell the lifestyles they live. Therefore, this is sort of a good marketing campaign, even if it's for a product that leaves people in the hole more often than not. I am buying Starbucks with the money I earned more than Sally sees me on Instagram and asks how she can get in greater than I sign Sally up and make a tiny bit more money. But a Starbucks drink isn't that expensive in the grand scheme of things. Seeing someone make a big deal about a max $5-6 purchase does not make me think that they are living a lush lifestyle that I would want to buy into. It makes me think that to them, $5.6 is a large amount of money. Don't get me wrong, I've been in a financial situation where $5.6 for a treat was a splurge, but I was making minutes wage at the time, and I certainly wasn't trying to sell people on that lifestyle. Then there are the grocery posts, which I really don't understand. Do they think the rest of us don't use our paychecks to buy groceries? I can see if they were posting that they finished paying off their student loans or bought a house, but every time I see it, it's a mundane purchase or bill that most jobs would be able to easily pay for. And at the end of the day, they are trying to sell us on MLM replacing our jobs. I just don't get it. As an assistant teacher at a preschool, this may seem silly to everyday life, but in preschool, daycare life, I hate when parents waste so much money on specific diets and essential oils on their children who don't need or use them. Stop sending your child in with your Wanderlust Apple Crush essential oil. Yeah, it's in quotes for a reason. We all know it's bullshit juice. Obligatory edit. I'm off work and tipsy as fuck since it's VBS. Let this post die. You think it's bad, but I work as an after-school teacher at a Montessori school, and that's every kid and the teachers. I've never seen so many essential oils or natural cleaners in my life. Renting a router from your ISP. Return it and go buy one. Edit. A lot of opinions on this. It may not always be beneficial to own instead of renting. Depends on your ISP and what you need. Some quick research into your options could save some money. I'm stuck with Comcast and it was definitely better to buy one. To everyone asking for recommendations, I bought a Motorola modem router for about $100 that works well for my two-person household. Better than what Comcast gave me. Definitely research what works with your ISP and if it supports everything you need before buying something. Not to mention that they're almost all shitty. Saw someone's bill that charged $10 a month for renting a shitty router. 10 months and you could have bought a router that is miles ahead. Edit. You all. I'm not gonna tell you what router to buy. Use Google. It's a valuable skill to find something you want to know using the internet, and there are too many different situations that different routers would be better for. While you're at it, read about basic networking and give yourself the ability to see through this kind of bullshit. Beware of this advice if you are not a technically inclined user. The first day you experience slow speeds, your ISP will blame your router, and will not accept that it is their problem until they've shipped you one of their routers, at your expense. Then after you've gone through the trouble of proving it was them, you have to speak to multiple levels of representatives to be refunded the 1-month rental fee on the shit router they sent you to prove it was them in the first place. Keep a $40 Netgear router on hand to swap out for testing. If your problem goes away, it was your router. If it doesn't, or you don't have a spare, remove the router from your setup and test by plugging directly into your modem if possible. If the problem goes away, it was the router. If not, it can be the modem or your ISP. They should be able to test the speed/signal to the modem. If you're not able to identify the source of the problem from here, God hates you and you should give up technology and move into the woods. This might be slightly off topic, but it annoyed me nonetheless. The other day, an Audi commercial came on. It was about a woman working at a good job but instead opted to quit and start her own business. The first thing she does is buy a brand new fucking Audi SUV. How are you going to start your own business when you just dropped a shit ton of money to buy that new car? I just saw this commercial last night and made the same exclamation to my wife at how ridiculous this scenario is. Who writes this kind of marketing? Big ass weddings. It's okay if you can afford it, but if you're gonna be in debt, then what's the point? My little sister just told me she's going to declare bankruptcy. Her dream wedding turned into a debt nightmare when she had a sharp drop in income right after. I feel bad for her, but I never thought it was a good idea to leverage her credit for something so ephemeral. Buying a gym membership when you know you're not going to be going in 4 months. Yeah, that's true for all those other people. I'm gonna go 11 times a week.